Welcome to or welcome back to How to Change the World, the podcast that equips changemakers with the insights, tools, and inspiration to drive meaningful impact. I'm Catherine Alonso, and today I want to talk about something that I know a lot of changemakers wrestle with, which is how to get the right marketing help. So often people reach out to me to see if I know someone who can help them with the kind of marketing support that they are looking for. They'll ask whether Javelina can help them, or if not, maybe I know someone else. And what's really interesting about this is the way that people frame the question. They usually say one of two things. They either tell me their end goal. I need to raise some more money. I need to increase the funds coming into our organization. I need to grow my email list. I need 200 people at my event. Or they say they need help with a very broad area of marketing. I need help with social media. I need help with digital advertising. And the challenge is that neither of those statements are very likely to lead to finding exactly the right help for what they need. And that's because they're either too specific on the outcome or too broad on the approach. And here's the truth. You can't find the right help if you are not clear on what you are looking for. I cannot state that more importantly or loudly enough. You cannot find the right help if you are not clear on what you are looking for. And I guess it can feel so overwhelming. You know, you need support. Maybe you're trying to meet a goal, launch a campaign, or expand your capacity. But who do you hire and how do you know that they will be the right fit? Getting it wrong can be wasteful, demoralizing, and even damaging. I've seen organizations lose money, time, and morale because they hired the wrong person or agency. And we at Javelina have had more than one project go sideways because in the end, an agency or our agency just really wasn't what the client really wanted or needed. So today I want to share 6 questions that you can ask yourself to set yourself up for success, to figure out exactly what kind of marketing help you need and set you on the right path to finding the person or agency who can help you out. So question number 1, do you want someone to direct you or do you want to direct someone? This is a strategy versus capacity question. Do you already know what needs to be done and you just need help executing it? Or do you need someone to design the roadmap with you? Hire for what you actually need, not just to chase the feeling of being less stretched thin. Getting this one wrong is one of the biggest pitfalls. For example, at Javelina, we are currently overhauling our own website, which I am super excited to share with you later this year. And when we were looking at hiring a website partner, we knew we needed strategic help. We had a very clear outcome, a user-friendly site that tells our story and speaks to our audience, but we were not exactly clear on how we wanted to get there. So we looked for and we hired an agency that can not only develop a beautiful site for us, but can help us provide that strategic advice in how to lay the site out so that we can meet our goals. At the same time, we knew that we have strong in-house copywriting capacity and that we have the ability in-house to tell our own story. So we didn't need help with that piece. So we set out to find an agency that knew how to help us meet those goals and would be willing to work with us as we developed our own copy. The decision wasn't just we need a new website, it was understanding about whether we need strategy, execution, or both. Very often you may have enough knowledge that you either have on your team or you acquire that helps you figure out, okay, we know what we want our website to look like, and we just need somebody to execute it. I can draw a sitemap. I can tell somebody roughly what I want it to look like. I can tell them what needs to be included, and I need someone to build it. And so that can either be a different kind of agency that doesn't necessarily bring that strategic direction, or it can be a freelancer or a contractor. So getting clear on whether you need strategy help or execution help is the first question, and I think arguably the most important question. Pretty often at Javelina, we get hired and we are a strategy agency. That is what we bring to the table. And we'll get into the project. And I realize that really what this client needs is an expansion of capacity, and we are not the right fit for that. So ask yourself, am I looking for help with strategy or capacity? Do I want someone to direct me, or do I want to direct someone? The second question to ask yourself is, how are you defining their success? Whoever you hire to help you out, whether it's a part-time person, a full-time staff member, a freelancer, a contractor, an agency, or an AI tool, how are you defining their success? How will you know that this person or technology is working out? Is success growing your email list by 20%? Is it launching a campaign on time? Or is it something less tangible, like freeing up your headspace so that you are not trying to do it all yourself? Being explicit here avoids disappointment later. Another way to frame this is, who is responsible for success? If it's you, then you probably want a freelancer, a contractor, or a staff member to help you get to success. If you want someone else to drive success with you or for you, then you're probably looking for a more robust partner like an agency. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you are running a capital campaign and you're responsible for raising a large sum of money, and there are multiple moving parts: direct outreach to major donors, an email and social media campaign, and a big PR and earned media push. Each one needs its own goals and strategy that ladder up to your big fundraising target. If you expect one freelancer to make it happen, you are likely setting them up to fail. You need to be clear about what part of success is theirs to own and what part remains with you. Figuring out what success looks like for you and for all of the people that are helping you work on this effort, whether they're existing members of your team or somebody new that you're bringing on board, will help you figure out who it is you need to hire. The third question is, what is it that you need more of? Every time that you bring on help, you're expanding your team. What do you actually need more of? Is it skills or expertise? Is it creative ideas? Is it relationships? Is it simply time? Or is it something else? Your answer to this question will shape the kind of support that you look for. If it's a specific skill like graphic design or the ability to manage paid ads, a freelancer is often the best fit. If you need fresh ideas, that might point to somebody that is more senior, like a full-time hire or an agency. If you need relationships, that's usually a staff hire or a specialized agency, and often the most expensive thing. And if you need more time, you'll need to be crystal clear about what work can come off your plate and how you will manage the person that you hire. So often, too often, and I've done this myself, people hire because they feel maxed out, but then they don't have the time to manage the new person, and the whole thing collapses. They are not successful. You do not feel any benefit, and the whole thing feels like actually you just wasted time. If you don't have much time, you either need to consider someone senior who requires less oversight, or you need to reduce the amount of things on your plate so that you can provide the oversight and the support required to make your new team member successful. So I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you need more of? And then hire to get you more of that thing. And it might not be one thing. It might be multiple things. Maybe that you do need more time. You do need somebody that can take something off your plate, but you also need a specific skill. Or you do need somebody to come in who has relationships in your sector, but you are also looking for creative ideas or somebody that can write a strategy. Figuring out what it is that you need more of will help you find that thing. I'll be back in a moment with 3 more questions you should ask yourself before you hire marketing help. But first, a quick break. It is such a tough time for nonprofits, agencies, and changemakers. Funding is tight, capacity is stretched, and your work matters more than ever. And you need communication support that can keep up. That's why we are super excited to introduce our new suite of modular, flexible services, built to help you and your storytelling stay visible, resilient, and connected when it matters the most. Whether you need a quick messaging refresh or adaptable on-demand support, Javelina is here to help you move forward with clarity and strength. You can see this list of services and discounted prices at javelina.co/rapid-response-services. Okay, so we've already covered the first 3 questions that you should ask yourself before you hire marketing help. Number 1, do you want someone to direct you or do you want to direct someone? Number 2, how are you defining their success? Number 3, what is it that you need more of? Let's jump into the next 3 questions. Number 4 is, what specific skills do you need support with? This question makes all the difference. Be concrete and precise. Writing, creative development, strategic development, website management, media relations, social media strategy, copywriting. If you are not clear, you'll either hire the wrong person or set them up to fail. For example, a few years ago, we were hiring at Javelina and we thought we needed a marketing generalist, somebody who could help across the board to increase capacity on all of our projects. So we put out a posting that we'd used before for somebody that could help across the board with multiple projects. And we got a bunch of really highly qualified applicants. But as we got deeper into interviews, it became clear that the hiring manager and myself had different priorities. So we really jumped into, okay, what is it that we're actually looking for here? And that conversation forced us to stop and get really clear on what we needed the most. The answer turned out to be a copywriter. We needed someone who could help us develop written copy for all kinds of projects and all kinds of clients. So we rewrote the job description and we hired for that specific skill. And we found a fantastic fit person who stayed with us for years. Getting specific saved us from a mismatched hire. Question 5, how much support do you need? Now that you know the skills that you're looking for, ask yourself, is this project-based? Is it a full-time job, a part-time role? Is it a short-term contract? Is it a one-off recurring need? Something like graphic design or development of and management of paid ads, something that happens consistently, but you don't need it every day and you don't need it every week. Think about, how often does this come up? How much support do I actually need? Getting really clear about the scope avoids mismatched expectations. It can also help you to think creatively about the kind of support that you need. If it's daily ongoing work, you're looking for a staff hire most likely. But if it's something that is a recurring short-term need, maybe a software, an AI tool, or a freelancer may be able to help you out. And so the last question, and this is usually the question that people either start with or they forget altogether, and that is, what is your budget? It's pretty obvious, but it's so often skipped. How much do you realistically have to spend? A well-established full-service agency will cost more, but they save you time and management because you are hiring a team. A freelancer may be cheaper, but you'll need to manage more closely and may need several freelancers to cover different skill sets. I can give you a personal example here that I was just thinking about yesterday. My first book is coming out in March of next year. And when I was weighing publishing options for this book, I faced a really similar trade-off to this. I was choosing between hybrid publishing and self-publishing. Hybrid publishing means that I would pay an upfront cost for my team and they help guide me through every stage. Hybrid publishing is pretty similar to traditional publishing, except in hybrid publishing, you typically pay the publisher an upfront cost to cover their services, and then the author keeps a higher percentage of book sales. Whereas in traditional publishing, there's usually no cost upfront for the author, but the publisher keeps a higher percentage of per book sales. Self-publishing for me would have meant lower upfront costs, but I would need to manage multiple freelancers, editors, proofreaders, designers, and marketers. Neither option is right or wrong. It depends on time, money, and capacity. Marketing support is the same. Budget shapes not only who you can hire, but how much of the management burden will stay with you. And very often, this is a trade-off, a money-time trade-off. How much budget do you have to hire marketing support? Neither option is right or wrong. It depends on time, money, and capacity. Marketing support is the same. Budget shapes not only who you can hire, but how much of the management burden will stay with you. So, if you are trying to figure out how to get the right marketing help, start with these questions. Do I need direction or execution? How am I defining their success? What do I need more of? Skills, ideas, relationships, or time? What specific skills do I need covered? How much support do I need and how often? And what is my budget? When you get clear on the answers to each of these questions, it should help you to think through what kind of marketing support is it that you need. And these answers will save you frustration, wasted money, and heartache, and help you find a partner who can really help you move toward your goals. It doesn't mean that you're going to get it perfect the first time, every time. As with any kind of hiring, there is always trial and error and figuring out the right people to help you with your marketing goals and your marketing efforts. But it is well worth it because the right fit doesn't just make your marketing better, it frees you up to focus on the bigger picture, creating change in the world. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you would share it with someone in your network who's struggling to figure out what kind of marketing help they need. If there's anyone that you work with, a friend, a collaborator, a coworker who has said to you, I need to figure out how to get help with this marketing related goal, with this project, with this capital campaign, with social media, with digital advertising, or even I might start using AI tools in my workflow, send them this episode, because answering these 6 questions before you jump into interviewing for an agency or putting together a job description for a full-time or a part-time hire can really help you make sure that you are actually looking for the right kind of help. Until next time, when I cannot wait to share another story of change with you, I hope you have a great one.